Hi, everybody. Before we get to another great interview, the Two Opinionated podcast could really use your help. And it's easy, it's free. IMDb, which is the entertainment database, imdb.com, named us a top 100 podcast. We came in at number 82. That's a big deal because there's 15 million podcasts and growing. So to be named to anybody's top 100 list, pretty big deal for us. And the way you can help is to go to imdb.com, look up the Two Opinionated podcast, and that's it. Just bringing our page up. That traffic really helps us out. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. All we ask is that you subscribe. It's also free, but that really helps us to attract these amazing guests that we keep bringing on the program. And that's it. Two easy ways for you to support us, and we would really appreciate the help. Now let's get to that interview. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Two Opinionated. I'm so excited today. I've got singer-songwriter Brenda Russell with me. So welcome, Brenda.
Hi, everyone.
I've got a little story about your music to tell you. So when I was growing up back in the 70s, we had a station wagon. That was the family car, and it played 8 tracks. So we only
I remember
5.
well.
We had 5 8 tracks. So it was Oak Ridge Boys, ELO, Johnny Paycheck, Donna Summer, and Stevie Wonder. That's the only 5 my parents had. We listened to them to death. Well, then in the late 70s, they got number 6, and that was your first album.
Oh my goodness!
And we wore that album out.
That's such a great compliment. Thank you.
My parents were big Donna Summer fans, and
yeah, me too.
When your debut album came out, you reminded them a little bit of her music, and they bought it. And then through the early '80s, we listened to that just nonstop.
I wrote a song for Donna called "Dinner with Gershwin" that she did. It was a pretty fairly big hit over in the overseas. Yeah,
I remember it, and if I remember right, you've recorded that at
yes, I did it first actually, and then I gave it to her and Richard Perry, great producer. We produced it together, so it was really a fun thing to do.
Do you prefer to write and sing your own stuff, or are you happy writing and letting someone else sing it?
Both are totally acceptable.
yeah, neither's bad.
I'm very excited, especially when people like Ray Charles and Luther Vandross and
yes.
Tina Turner. I've had these songs recorded by these kind of voices. It's the biggest compliment you could ever get.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing when you think about it. I mean, you've had your music has been sampled or borrowed, or you've written for, I mean, the best artists.
God has blessed me.
Well, Brenda, let's start this way. Music's such a difficult profession, especially years ago trying to break into it. What made you want to go into that business?
Well, I was born into a musical family.
Yeah.
I have great aunts that were the first, women to sing on the radio back east in in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And my mother was a fantastic songwriter. She was writing from the time I was a baby. And so I thought it was a mommy thing. I thought everybody's mommy wrote songs.
That's right.
That's what mommies do. Until I went to school. And I said to the kids, "Doesn't your mommy write songs?" And they're like, "No." Isn't that funny though?
Yeah. Well, as kids, you don't know. You just assume if your parents are doing it, everybody's parents does it.
Everybody. That's what I thought. But I learned a lot from her and my father, who was a wonderful singer. He sang with a group called the Ink Spots, which is
that's right. I read that. Yeah.
In the 40s, they were very popular. And
what kind of music was he singing? Was it Was
Say
it
it again.
what kind of music was the Ink Spots? What were they singing?
Well, my dad's.
Is too early for Motown, I guess. Was it big band?
Oh yeah, it was way before Motown,
Yeah.
but we're talking the 40s, and it was kind of that elderly quartet voices,
Yeah.
great harmony and great passion in the singing. It was just beautiful. But my dad was such a good singer that I thought, why am I going to try to do that? Because he's so great. I almost quit. I'm telling you, I was like, no, if you're not as good as him, why bother?
Well,
but,
you're pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but I think you might have a career in this.
Thank you, Mike.
No, I love that both your parents were musical. So you grew up around music. Were you like, did you sing like at school or at church or anything like that?
Absolutely. The first time I sang in front of people was at my school, elementary school.
Yeah.
And it was pretty fun. I had the bug really early though, because my mom put me out to sing at a Christmas party, and there was a lot of people. And I came out. I was little, like 3 maybe, and I sang "Jungle Bells, Jungle Bells, Jungle." I sang "Jungle Bells." Well, everybody was on the floor laughing because they were just thought it was hysterical.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I got that feeling of, oh, they like this.
Maybe I could do more of this.
Yes.
I love that. Well, so how once you decided this is what I'm going to do, how did you get into it? What was your first, kind of big break?
I had so many breaks, Michael, the way it is. The day I left high school, I went to see some girls singing from Toronto. I lived in Canada, and I went to see these girls sing in Hamilton. And this man we were at the back door. We had no money to get in. So we just hang around. And he walked right up to me and said, "Do you sing?" I said, "Yes." But I thought, oh, well, this is a line for sure. And I ended up joining the group that he was managing that was singing that night.
Was that the Tiaras?
Yes.
All right. You were pretty young at that point.
Oh, I was so young. And then we ended up opening, this is a cute story, opening for Sly Stone, who we just lost, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know, it's awful.
He was such an amazing musician. And so we went to open up for him at a ski resort in Canada. And we're waiting. We're going to open, and our manager walked over to us with this horrible look on his face. Like, our drummer didn't show up. He's caught in the snow. It's a big snowstorm. He's caught in the snow. He can't get here. And we're opening for Sly Stone, right? So
yeah, that could be a problem.
Yeah, it could be a problem. So I said, I can play the drums. And he said, really? I said, yes. Because I had played with my high school band, the drums, I was very brave. When you're young, you're fearless,
Right. That's exactly
so
right.
It's the first time I ever played drums in front of people. All of us girls wore long gowns like the Supremes. So I had to climb up on the stage in my long gown and get behind the drums. The rest of the band is shocked because they don't know where their drummer is, right? And I sit up there and I played the whole set. Amazing, right?
Amazing.
And then after our set was over, a gentleman walks out from the back room, across the empty floor, the people had left, right up to me, because I was the last one on the stage. And he said, "Do you want to play drums for my band?"
That didn't take long.
I was like, no, thank you. Because I had heard so many wild stories about Sly. I knew that I would not survive.
Right.
I wouldn't have survived doing that. And I wasn't a drummer. I was just having fun. But he must have been feeling what I was doing. And he was on he mixed mixed genders in his band. You know, he had women and men, so he liked that idea. But I was never more complimented.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
I think most of us would, that would make an impact. If you've got a famous singer, musician that, validates you when you're barely a teenager.
Yeah. It's amazing, right?
That's pretty amazing. That would motivate me. Might terrify me, but it'd motivate me.
It did terrify me. I think that's why I said no.
So you've got a big weekend coming up.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's the female
the Women Songwriters Hall of Fame.
That's amazing. I love that there is one.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But there's like you're going in with a pretty good group of women.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. So how did that come about?
I have a wonderful publicist whose name is Thomas, and he probably
I love Thomas. He is the best to work with.
He is amazing.
Yeah.
And so he put that together.
Well, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not bad. Where's the ceremony being held?
In DC.
Or I guess you're flying in for it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's in my neck of the woods. I could get there. It's about a 5-hour drive from here.
Yeah, you're not far.
That's not too far.
No.
My brother used to live in DC, so we travel that road quite a bit going down to see him. So yeah, I'm familiar with it. But I think that's just amazing. What a great honor. So do you get to perform?
Thankfully, no. Because those kind of situations are always so out of hand, and different people. No, I'm going to sing with some of the girls that are were being inducted, and there's one song they have just everybody come on and sing with us. So I could do something like that.
That's kind of neat, though. I mean, when would you get the opportunity to sing with a bunch of other Hall of Famers?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Is it does the celebration last the whole weekend, or is it just the one day?
One night.
One night.
I mean, probably there's other things going on that I'm not involved with.
Yeah.
But that's a big night.
Yeah, that's going to be a great night. So what are you doing to celebrate the occasion?
Getting there.
Well, that's pretty vital.
No, but my life is so wonderful, and I just feel like a very blessed person to have the gift of music, and to share that gift and to enlighten and uplift people. That's a major motivation for me. Yeah,
and what a great reason to sing. If you're inspiring and motivating people and bringing joy, that's what better reason to sing, I think. That's amazing. Yeah, I love that.
After I wrote my first song, I cried my heart out because I didn't know what I was doing. Because everything, I just taught myself how to play, and I was hearing music in my head. And after I wrote that first song, I thought, I don't know what I'm doing. So I just collapsed. And then I had an inspiration that told me, you are not doing it. It's coming through you. It's coming through you.
Yeah.
I don't know if most creative people will know what I'm talking about exactly. Yep. Because you don't even know, where did that thought come from? Where did that line come from? You're inspired.
I love that. I interviewed David Sanchez, from Bruce Springsteen's band, and he said that very similar. He said that he doesn't know exactly where the inspiration comes from, but it's just there. It just comes.
A lot of it is the desire you have to create. You create that desire, and then it just pulls. It's like a magnet, boom, boom.
Yeah. Well, when you sit down to write, is it because something has inspired you, like a song has inspired you, or do you just set aside time and then come up with something while you're sitting there?
I have no rules about writing. My first hit, which is called "So Good So Right," I was having.
I know that song. That's from the 8-track.
I'm sure you do.
That one and Way Back When.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You know, it's amazing. Quincy Jones actually called me one night. My first album had just come out, and he called me and he said, "Hello, Brenda." I said, "Yes." "This is Quincy." I said, "Quincy who?" Because I knew Quincy Jones could not be calling me, so I could, and I don't know any Quincy's. And I thought Jones, but that's ridiculous. Why would he call me, And he said, "Jones."
I figure he's not used to having to say his last name.
He's not. And when he said it, I was like, "Oh my God." And he called to tell me how much he loved Way Back When. And he just thought it was great. And to get a phone call like that is like, for me, it was like winning a Grammy. Yeah. Because when Quincy Jones finds you and tells you this song is great, that's a Grammy.
I was going to say, that's probably a hit. He knows a little something about those.
A little something.
Yeah, I love that story. And I was a big fan of the Piano in the Dark.
Oh, thank you.
That came out, I think, when I was in high school. I was probably a freshman, sophomore in high school.
I am old.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
But it was, I listened to it some over the weekend, and it's still such a beautiful song.
Thank you so much.
It really gets you when you listen to that one.
I'm so glad people have responded really well to that song. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh yeah, it's such an amazing song, and it was nominated for some awards, I guess, wasn't it?
Oh yes, it was a song of the year, best duo or group, best vocal. I mean, it was got a lot of 3 awards nominations, so that was exciting.
That's so exciting. I'm assuming that these years that you were nominated, you went to the Grammys.
Oh yes, yeah. I did. It's more fun when you're nominated. That's a pretty great
experience as a musician right there. Not everybody gets to go.
And not everyone can afford to go because it's not cheap.
Well, when you had those opportunities, did you just go to your closet and pick out something to wear, or did you have to have somebody make you something?
Oh, it takes a village.
That's right. I mean, because most of us don't have something for those occasions.
No.
Sitting in the closet.
No. You got to get fancy.
Yeah, it was such a good song, and it fit right in that 80s kind of style of music, that kind of early to mid 80s. There was so much good music in that style. Loved it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was really good. My my parents, they were such fans of kind of the jazz type of music.
Yeah, a little R&B, a little jazz.
A little R&B, and they'd listen to Al Green, Al Jarreau, and those guys. Great. And just amazing stuff. But
I wrote a song about Al Jarreau.
Oh yeah, tell me.
I wrote the song called Jarreau. I had played some old tape. I was getting ready to write, and I heard the singing, and it sounded like I was singing Jarreau. I was just noodling around. I said, "Oh, that would be nice." So I'm going to write about Al because he was unbelievable.
Oh yeah, he was.
Did you ever see him perform?
Just like on video and stuff. I've never live.
Insane. So I called him up and I said, "Al," he lived a few blocks from me. I said, "Al, you got to come to my house. I have a song." And he said, "Okay." And he comes over, and he thought I had a song I'd written for him to sing. So I sit him down and put the headphones on him with my little demo. And he's listening, and he's like, mm-hmm. And then when he heard his name, tears started coming down his face. And I can't even talk about how
you made Al Jarreau cry.
I made him cry. He cried. And he used that song to open up every show he did for 2 years.
Amazing.
And beautiful. I loved him.
That's amazing. Did you ever get to like play on stage with him?
No. I never was on stage with him, unfortunately. I did record with him.
Oh, that may be even better.
Yeah. He was awesome. He was just awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm such a fan of it. That type of music, it always kind of gets you moving around a little bit.
Yeah, and happy.
And happy. You can't listen to that without being happy.
Yeah.
I got some fond memories. I've still got a few of his, the 44s, the little records. I still got a few of those.
You mean 45s?
Oh, 45s. Yeah. Yeah, of course, 45. That's been a while since I've played them. Apparently,
yeah, no kidding.
yeah. Although I've still got my little record set from when I was younger, so it's still in there.
So
and
sweet.
We've got a player. I just never sat and play them because now you can just pull up music when you want to.
Yeah, I want to buy a turntable. I just think it's great to have those old albums and listen to them.
I agree. We always play ours around the holidays.
Yes.
So that's kind of the rule around the holidays, especially Christmas, is you don't play any music except on the record player. We kind of love that.
That's great.
I'd be playing it on the 8-track if we had an 8-track.
Oh my goodness. I remember it well.
Those, like my kids, and especially their kids now, they have no clue what an 8-track, a cassette, any of that is.
No, not a clue.
I mean, you think about in the last 50 years, we've been through several different kinds.
I know, it's amazing.
Of how
I still miss the albums, so I miss all those.
I do too.
Photographs and artwork. It's fantastic.
Oh, I do too. It was always, it gave you, I mean, you didn't have internet back then, so it gave you some insight into the artist.
Yes, who's playing.
That's right. I used to love that because you usually get, a lot of the albums will come with a little booklet or something in there that you could, give you some details about the band or the artist.
I used to love that.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. It was pretty nice. So we were listening to You Know What It's Like. Which I think is, what's the connection with Roberta Flack with this one?
Roberta and I and a gentleman named Barry Miles wrote that song.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Together. And she just called me one day and she said, would you like to write a lyric for me? And I said, yes. Yes, I would like that.
I'm going to assume that if Roberta calls, you don't just say no.
No, you don't. When the Queen calls, you do whatever it is you need to do. So amazing. And we wrote the song and she recorded it on one of her albums. And then I decided I would record it just to give her a lift, because I knew she wasn't well. And this isn't the only reason I did it. I love the song. And I just wanted to do something associated with Roberta. I'm
glad you did. And that's fairly recent, right? It came out in the last year or two.
Absolutely. Very recent.
Yeah. And it was a follow-up, right? You had another one,
What Will It Take?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Both those songs are wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we played that at the pool yesterday. Really? We had it on the road. That's kind of, I like to do that when I'm having somebody on. I just play it for the family. I'll be like, here we go. My parents knew you.
That is so cool. I love that story.
Yeah. It's pretty great. I always, I never got any of the musical ability, but everybody in my family plays or sings. My grandfather was a Baptist minister. And, my grandmother played the organ. My aunt played the piano. My other was the music director. You know how that goes. It's just
I did.
And then there was me. And I'm like, why didn't I get any of that? But apparently I was just I was meant to just.
You were the interpreter.
That's right. I was like, well, maybe I should be the one just introducing everybody.
So fun. Music in the family is a beautiful thing.
I used to love when they would all get together and just kind of jam and play.
Yes.
Together. And a lot of times, like my grandfather's brothers, they'd show up with washboard board or spoons. I mean, it wouldn't matter. They'd make instruments out of everything.
You know, I think you know that I wrote co-wrote the Color Purple musical.
Yes,
for
ma'am.
Broadway.
Of course.
And one of the scenes,
that little play.
Yeah, that thing. Allie Willis was one of the writers, and she wrote September, and she was bad. And she said we should get spoons and washboards, and because we needed a very funky front porch stomping kind of tune. And so we had, when you describe what your grandfather's friends, it was just like that, spoons and pots.
It was kind of inspiring,
Yes.
If you had any musical ability, I'm sure it would inspire you to play. I just enjoyed it, but the rest of the family, I'm sure they were inspired.
That's so nice.
Now I love that. There's, when especially back in the day, most families didn't have a lot of money, so you may not have been able to afford to buy instruments and stuff. You just made your own.
That's exactly true. That's why I never had a piano as a young person, but my grandmother did. So whenever I went to my grandmother's house,
that's right. Jump
I went
on
straight
there.
to the piano. Like, it was really fun, but it gave me something, and I love that.
Yeah, I love that too. How did the Color Purple come about? Who called you?
Allie Willis.
Oh, Allie called you. Okay.
My dear friend. And we were all working together anyway. We were doing some music for a internet kind of show she had going, animated internet show. And we were writing for that. And then Scott Sanders, the producer, calls, who could you recommend to write? Do you know Brenda Russell? And she's like, do I know Brenda Russell? We're all dear friends. So she said, you should let us try and let us audition. So we did. The three of us wrote a couple of songs, sent it to Scott, and we knew by FedEx when he would get it, right?
Yeah.
And we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. And we're waiting. But we thought we had it for sure because these songs are so good, but we just never heard from him for hours. And then he finally called us and said, I forgot to call you. I love it. It's so great. We played it for Alice Walker, and they were loving it. He was dancing around, but forgot to call us and let us know we had a job.
Yeah, that was kind of the important part.
Yeah, right. But what a job it was.
What was it like the first time you got to see your music up on screen or on stage?
Unbelievable. Just to eat through the rehearsals and watching them sing and dance, and it was magnificent. And I'm a big George Gershwin fan, and Gershwin wrote a lot of musicals. And I would just walk down Broadway and see our names up on the marquee and think about George, that I was sort of in the same company of him when I was looking at that. And it was so overwhelmingly wonderful. I can't even tell you how happy I was.
It had to be amazing. Do you have one of those stories where, like, the first time you heard your music on the radio?
Oh, yeah. I think it was Chaka Khan when she was with Rufus.
Oh, okay.
And they recorded, we met the drummer who was the leader of the group, Andre Fisher. And we sent them a song and they recorded it. And we were like, wow. And it was
easy.
Yeah, it was called Please Pardon Me. It was on one of their early albums. And we were very excited. It's the kids from Toronto coming to LA, and we have a song on the radio, it's good.
Yeah, because you don't really have that anymore. Most of the time, if you're a new musician, maybe you're hearing it on Spotify or something. but that you've got those musicians from 50s and 60s where they'll have that moment where they're just happen to be shopping and their song comes on the radio or something.
Yes.
They're like,
Oh, one time I was in 7-Eleven and there was a young Black kid standing in front of me, tall, and he starts singing my song, Please Pardon Me, just to himself, right?
Amazing.
And I'm standing there, and I said, "That's my song." And he said, "That's my song too."
Well, did he figure out who you were eventually?
No, I don't think he really. I said, no. I mean, I wrote that song. Oh, okay. I don't think he really believed me.
Sure, you did. You
Was
probably wrote the Collar Purple too. Sure.
It was such a sweet thing, though. That's my song too. I love it.
I mean, that has to feel good though, because that's the way music works. You know, it can take you back to a moment in time. It can bring you out of a bad place. You know, all the things.
All of the things make you get up and start dancing when you were feeling bad.
Yeah, that's truth. And you know, I was always the world's worst dancer, but eventually, you know, I could eventually do like what I called the middle school sway. You know, it's that. Step to the left, right.
Just keep it easy, right?
Keep it easy. You know, my younger brother, he was always he's the first person on the dance floor. We'd be in high school. He was a couple years younger than me, and it would drive me crazy. You know, I'd be nervous. I'd be standing over in the corner. He's already out there.
So sweet.
He was usually the one breaking the ice so everybody else would come out.
I love that.
I was like,
how many brothers do you have? You have
just the one.
Oh, okay.
Just the one. It's my wife's brother that's in Austin.
Oh,
yeah. He's we go down there to see him, and then we'll go to the Austin City Limits Music Festival.
Oh yeah, a lot of people come here.
Yeah, it's usually September, October, somewhere in there, and we'll come for that, and it's pretty great. I mean, you know, it's 3 days. And by the third day, you are just exhausted.
Yes,
but worth it. You know, you see so many good musicians,
artists. Yeah,
it's so good, and it's just a great environment. You know, everybody's so happy, and you know, other than the fact that it's usually hot.
Yes,
yeah,
that it is.
I spend a lot of time standing in front of the cooling station. Like, if I find one that's close to the stage and I can get in front of it, I'm not leaving.
That's where you are.
That's where I'm at.
I hear it. You know, I met a gentleman in Sweden. I went to Sweden because they asked me to come to do a television show. And then I started meeting all these wonderful people. And I ended up writing there. I wrote Get Here there in Stockholm. And it was very exciting. Yeah, that was one of my most popular songs, I think. And
that's a great song.
It's by Oleta Adams. She recorded it. And we had a friend, my producer over there. He was Swedish, but he would come to Austin City Limits so much that he had a drawl when he spoke English. But he was Swedish with a southern drawl. And it was just crazy.
I bet it sounded pretty good, though.
It did. It sounded so cute.
I'd listen to
southern drawl.
I wouldn't expect it, but I'd listen to it.
Yeah, me too.
Are you working on any new music?
Yes, I am. I'm in the middle of recording an album. It's called Songpainter, and I chose that title because my friend called me that. She said, "You're such a song painter," and I went, "Ding!"
That's
title of the album.
A terrific compliment, but that's a great title, I think.
I think so too, and it was a great compliment. And so we're halfway through that. I'm recording it partially in Nashville, but I have not gone country.
I was gonna say Nashville's about 5 hours away from me too. So
yeah. So what a great place.
Austin and Nashville, very similar, I think.
Very similar. I think so too.
Yeah. That's pretty exciting. Do you plan to release that later in the year, or is that
yes? You know, a couple of months, maybe not that long.
Yeah, you'll have to come back. You'll have to come back when that one's out.
I would love to.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again. That's exciting. It's been a little while since you've had an album out.
20 years.
Has it been that long?
I can't believe it either.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
That goes by fast.
Yes, it does.
When we were all stuck at home back in 2020, were you writing at that time, or did you pick up a different skill?
I was writing because what else could you do? You had to stay home.
Cook. Everybody was making bread, if I remember right.
Yeah, that was a good lesson for all of us to learn how to reconnect.
That's right.
And it's a rough time we're going through right now, but there's so many positive things happening too at the same time, and that's what we got to hang on to.
You got to focus on the positives.
That's right.
We've got 5 grandkids and another one coming this fall.
Oh,
that'll be 6. But 3 of them were born early in 2020, and we didn't get to spend much time with them because everybody was isolating.
Yeah.
And so it took, I mean, now it's all better now, but it took a little while to connect because we were going to visit, them through a door,
right?
Across the yard. And with a baby, it's a little tough to connect.
Yes, so, it is.
Yeah, that was rough, but
that's beautiful. You have 5 grandchildren. I have 3.
Oh, congratulations. Parenting's great.
Yeah.
Grandparenting's even better.
It's much better.
Because you get to send them home. If you get tired, if they act up, you'd be like, we'll see you again next week.
Yeah. I like that part too. But I love them so much.
Oh, me too.
They make you realize how much you love, because when you're a parent, you love so much. But if you're a good person, but a grandchild makes you realize you had all this love you didn't even know you had.
That's right.
It comes out. It's beautiful.
When you're a parent, especially a young parent, you're in it. So even though you enjoy it, you don't really absorb everything like you should. But as a grandparent, you're pretty settled. You're not worrying about money as much, hopefully. And you can just enjoy the kids and just really watch them grow up. I love it.
I love it too.
I do the once a week, I get all 5 of them and just keep them for the day.
Wow.
And it's exhausting, but it's bad. And they're close. Now they're all, because they spend so much time together, they're close, which is how I grew up. Lots of family, cousins, and I wanted
Nothing wrong with it.
You never know. Maybe they'll make a band.
Make some money.
Make a little money. Of course, now they all love music, but they're mostly just stomping around still. Right?
Yeah.
Or banging around, the oldest one's just 6, so they're still.
Oh.
Yeah, they're little, but it's pretty great.
So sweet.
So Songpainter later this year. That's so exciting. Are you bringing any like guest musicians onto it?
Well, they may be special to me, not to everyone yet, but I'm still creating, so you never know.
Love that. Well, that's the way to do it. Just keep creating.
Yes.
Why would you stop? As long as you're able to do it, just keep doing it.
That's my story.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Never, ever give up.
Yeah, I love that. My wife's a painter. She works for Live Nation's her day job, but she paints that's how she relaxes. And I always love it because, she'll paint and I'll be like, oh, that looks amazing. She's like, it's not done. I was like, oh. She'll keep painting. And I'm like, oh, that looks great. And she's like, it's not done. And it just keeps
looking.
Yeah, stop looking. And after
I'm an artist 6, too.
10.
Let me show you something.
Oh, do you paint?
Yes. Could you help me get the Michael picture down? Sure. I want to show you some.
I was going to ask you if you were artistic in other ways, because most of the time people are.
Beat you to it. This is a charcoal drawing I did.
Is that Michael McDonald?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're really talented. Obviously I knew who it was.
That's important.
I did not keep forgetting that one. I knew that one.
That's great. Yeah.
Love Michael McDonald. He's got such a recognizable voice.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
We did a documentary. It's called Yacht Rock. Have you heard about this?
Oh, yeah.
Well, in it, I tell the story about hearing Michael sing for the first time.
Yeah.
I'm in the film. And it was amazing because, they were just kids in this band, Doobie Brothers. Yeah. So we go over to sing background, me and my ex-husband. And Michael opens his mouth to start singing it. And we're like, we froze.
Yeah.
totally froze. Like, what is coming out of his mouth?
I know you do not expect that voice.
No.
And it's so unique.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I love it.
Soulful song.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's and maybe it doesn't, but to me it always felt like he was singing with so much emotion.
Oh, always.
Yeah.
And
it always got me. You know, whatever the song is, if it was a sad song, I'd be sad. If it was a happy song, I'd be happy. Yeah, he's such a terrific musician. At this point, is there someone that you haven't got to work with that you always wanted to?
Well, the only person is not on the planet anymore.
Yeah.
And that was Whitney.
Oh,
I would love to have had her to sing one of my songs, just to hear her sing.
we that was a pretty big loss. I mean, for all the reasons and everything that she had done up to that point, but the bigger loss, I think, is what we lost of what she was going to create.
Yes.
Forward. I mean, probably decades of music there.
Absolutely. She was so gifted.
Yeah. Yeah, what a voice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's another one that, you know, as soon as she opened her mouth, you knew who was singing.
Absolutely.
Of course, we could say that about you, Brenda. You know,
that
in the Wall household, we knew Brenda's voice. As soon as she came on, we're like, it's Brenda.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Well, Brenda, thank you for taking a little bit of time. This has been terrific. So you've got the Hall of Fame ceremony. Is that Saturday?
Yes, happening? It is. Yes.
That's so exciting. And it's in DC.
DC.
Is Thomas coming in for it?
No, unfortunately, but his spirit will be with me.
That's right. That's right. I'm sure he'll be cheering you on.
I think they're streaming it on something. We haven't found out where.
Oh, I need to find that out. Yeah, I'll watch that. I'm actually I'll be in actually I'll tape it because I'm going to be in New York. I'm going to see Hugh Jackman at Radio City Saturday night.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. He's got a very
It's too bad he doesn't have any talent, right?
I know. It's almost not fair that some people get all the talent. That's why some of us don't have any.
I know.
You guys hogged it all up.
So cute. Well,
have
a good time.
You were born out in New York, right?
Say it again.
Were you born in New York?
Yes, born in Brooklyn.
I know you grew up in Canada, but I thought you were born in New York.
Born in Brooklyn. And I learned a lot there, but I learned a lot more when I moved to Canada.
Yeah. Well, that kind of got you started.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you run into any from the Tiaras over the years?
Yes, like sisters. The few that are still with us, like sisters.
I'd love for you guys to get together at some point.
I'd love that too.
Maybe we'll do that. We'll just invite them on the podcast and we'll do it remotely.
That would be cute. I'd love that.
Yeah. Well, Brenda, before I let you go, we know you're working on Songpainter, so we should be able to listen to that hopefully later this year.
Yes.
Anything else that you're working on that we can keep an eye out for?
That's pretty much my main.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yes. You know, it is a lot. Busy. And I'm very, I'm so deep into the music that I really want it to be special. So, I'm taking my time. We're taking our time, making it just right.
20 years in the making.
Well, I did write The Color Purple in between those.
Well, okay, I guess you did. I forgot you did that little play.
It took us 5 years to write that song, to write that show. 5 years.
Well, it doesn't surprise me because that's the music in it is so terrific. It would have surprised me if you turned that around quickly. It seemed like a lot of care and love went into it.
Tremendous amount.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. What'd you think of the new one, the remake? And of course, it was a movie, not a play. But
they used our music in the new one.
Yeah.
So it was really like they recorded the musical They made a movie out of our musical. So all our songs are in the new one. So if you haven't seen it, you should check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I thought it was pretty good.
It's streaming.
Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah.
Are you on social media?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, where can we find you on there?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
I know you've got a website because I was on there today. So that's
yes,
BrendaRussell.com, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't pay too much attention.
No. But you know, these days you got to have something in there.
Yes.
But they can definitely go there to the website. And I'm pretty sure you've got something on maybe Instagram where it's just.
Yeah, I do. I have something on Instagram, Facebook, you know.
Yeah, and it's just if you put your name in, it comes right up.
Right.
Yeah. You're pretty easy to find.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Brenda, open invitation. Whenever you've got the next thing, please come back. I'd love to talk to you again.
I love talking to you. You're a very fine person.
Well, thank you so much.
5 grandkids.
I know. Right. I know. And they all came so fast. I'm grateful for that because, you know, it gives me time to spend with them before I start winding down.
Yeah. Before we start breaking down, honey.
Before we start breaking down. That's exactly right. All right, Brenda, hold on one second. You're not a Brenda Russell fan. What are you doing with your life? Her voice, oh my gosh, amazing. Absolutely love that. I feel like Brenda and I have grown up together in some respects. I've been listening to her almost 50 years. Just amazing. When her publicist reached out, Thomas, it was several months ago, and we've been working to schedule Brenda. I was just thrilled to death. Absolutely love Brenda. I mean, if the only thing she ever did was The Color Purple, that'd be enough. But it's not. Her music's just amazing. I know you've heard a ton of it. Wanted to at least run through some of her albums. So after her debut album, which was just titled Brenda Russell, she did Love Life, which was out in the early 80s, and then Two Eyes, which is the one I have, even with the 8-track, I've probably listened to Two Eyes the most because it came out when I was going into high school. Piano in the Dark, pretty big hit. I have definitely danced to that song. Probably a slow dance, but I've danced to that song. Not well, but definitely have listened to a ton of that. She did, and these were from the 90s, I think. Circle of One, Kiss Me with the Wind. I love that album. And then Soul Talking and Paris Rain. I mean, and that's just a few of the albums that she's put out. Paris Rain maybe was the last one. Not 100% on that one, but the last one before she started putting out new music in 2018, which is where we got What Will It Take? You Know What It's Like came out after that, and then she's working on the new album Songpainter. Can't wait. Would love to get to see Brenda perform at some point, but the album is good enough. I'm so excited about that. If you're finding us for the first time, so happy that you're here. If you're a music fan, we have had the best musicians, singers on the show. We've got a playlist. It's just called Music. Definitely check that out. You're going to find some of the best. Most you will know, a few you won't, but you'll love. So definitely check that out, our music playlist. Our website's meistercon.com. You can find almost 1,000 episodes of content, audio and video versions. YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. Please subscribe. Really helps us out. Doesn't cost you anything. Really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. Till next time. Bye, everybody.